Tonight, we welcome a Louisiana country artist whose music is as honest as a front porch conversation. He grew up in Vatican down in Lafayette Parish and built a loyal following with a stone cold traditional sound. Think George Jones and Keith Whitley with a Cajun heartbeat. His breakout single, Whiskey Makes Her Miss Me, became a regional anthem, streaming over 2 million times on Spotify. His album Between the Stones and Jones turned heads far beyond the Gulf Coast, and he's kept the fire burning with a full calendar of live shows and a new release earlier this year, The Heart to Hurt Her. He's a 2025 Louisiana Music Hall of Fame inductee. Please help me welcome Mr. Dustin Sonnier.
Going on, man?
What's up, dude?
Glad to be here.
You got to take over for a minute. I got to catch my breath. I'm out of shape.
You nailed the news. You flew through that thing, dude.
We had a lot of news this week, man. Who would ever believe that Alex and I were talking about this when we started this, that we would have so many exciting things going on with Louisiana artists that it takes me 10 minutes to get through news almost every week.
That's what the point is. We got to do this. We got to make Louisiana country music a thing.
That's right, man. So you being here tonight is a big help for that. You've got a lot of followers you've already got. I don't know if you can see the comments, but got Karen waving at you and Peggy saying yay and Carol saying, hey, Dustin. You've already got some folks chiming in that I know they're not here to see me, so they must be here to see you.
I hope so.
Oh, goodness, man. Let's dive in, man, while I got you here. And you're originally from Vatican, Louisiana.
Yes, sir.
So tell us a little bit about growing up in Vatican and tell us what the Pope was like.
Well, see, that's the thing. There is a street in Vatican called Pope Drive. And I grew up about a block from there. And I lived 21 years of my life there. And it was most folks from other states would call it rural, but it wasn't that rural because from where I was living there, it's only maybe 10 minutes to a city, but it just seemed like it was rural because there was just the towns were really like maybe 250 people at the max.
When I saw that's where you were from, because I was like, I know he's from Lafayette, but let me make sure I get the town right, because there's a lot of little towns, and I saw Vatican. And I said, where the hell is that? I had to go look it up. I said, I got to see where this is at.
It's maybe 3 or 4 blocks of an area, and that's it. We have a Valero there now, so that's nice. I don't live there anymore, but there's a Valero now, so they're stepping it up.
Nothing wrong with that, man. one piece of one Valero at a time. That's right. Let's start with one question that I kind of like to ask everybody that comes on is, how has growing up and living in South Louisiana shaped you? Let's not talk about as an artist right now, but as a person.
Well, you grow up in this area, you do, especially in a small town like that, you kind of, I don't know, you learn different things than most people would when they grow up in a big city or something like that. But growing up in Vatican, honestly, it was like I learned how to work. I learned how to do stuff that most kids don't do. I got my kid right here next to me, and I teach him the same kind of stuff. How to measure and cut wood, how to build stuff, how to do things like just life skills. I try to teach him that, and that's what I learned back then. My dad was a mechanic, and that was part of my life. During the summers, it would be, all right, you're coming to work in the shop. You can learn how to change brakes. You can learn how to do this. And it made me a better person because I know how to do stuff myself now. I don't have to ask, how do I do that? No, I just do it. And actually, and off topic, but today is the 3rd anniversary of my father's passing. And just saying that just brought that back to me. It's like, it was a cool thing that he taught me that because he was brought up in the country. So it's like, yeah, let's do country stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I really love the South Louisiana, the people down there, man. It's great. Before we go to the next question, you want to pop your son on for a second for a little shout out to everybody?
You go ahead in here, boy.
Hey,
What's up, buddy? What's your name?
Dustin Sonnier.
Nice to meet you, buddy.
Nice to meet you too.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Well, man, look at him when you say it, dog.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Been on a lot of shows when my dad does this.
Have you? Okay. Is he teaching you how to play guitar?
Not really.
He's a great piano player. He won't admit it, but he's a great piano player.
Keep working at it. Keep working. We'll be interviewing you before too long.
Oh, for sure.
Yes, indeed, man. Great job. So Dustin, what made you? Do you remember what kind of lit the fire for you to want to become a country music artist?
Honestly, my dad was a bass player, and he played in a lot of Cajun bands and stuff around here. And when I was, I don't know, probably 10, he bought me my first bass. And as a lot of parents do, they try to push you on it, like, hey, learn this, let's do this. I'm going to show you how to do this and this. And honestly, it was just like at 10, I just didn't want, And then I get a little bit older and I realized, oh, girls like the guys in the band. It was just a thing for me. I was like, okay, we're doing this. So I started asking him questions again, like, all right, what was this? What was this? And he would tell me, and I'd go in my room and play. And then I got tired of playing bass, so I picked up guitar. Then once I learned that, I started learning piano, and it just kind of took off from there. And one of my dad's good friends is another Louisiana country music artist, Mr. Ken Holloway. Mm-hmm. And that was his best friend. And Ken was he's still a great songwriter. And he kind of took me under his wing and he said, look, I think you got something here. Let's try to write together. So I'm 17, never wrote a song. I'm terrified. And he says, you have an idea? So I gave him an idea. And like 2 hours later, we come up with a song, which was on my very first album that, there was no promotion. It was just us that did it, So but I still get requests for it today. It's called Favorite Fool of All. And it turned into a deal where I was like, oh, wait, I can write songs and people want to hear it. And first time I heard it on the radio, that was it. It was local radio, but it was like, yes, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. What type of music was playing around your house when you were growing up? So
my dad was diehard country. My dad was Keith Whitley, George Jones, Merle Haggard, Ray Price, and he was going to beat you if you listen to something else. Well, he would go to work, and my mom would let me listen to Ozzy and Van Halen and Marshall Tucker Band and Allman Brothers and Skinner, and I'm like, I like this too. This is. Marshall Tucker, Allman Brothers, Skinner. A lot of it was country. Even Ozzy, he had like changes. That's a country song, really.
Yeah.
If you listen to the story, how he explained it, it's a country song. And I think about it in that aspect, like, okay, this is a metal song. Could it be country? Because it's inspiration. I can get inspiration from everything. And it's like, that was fun growing up because I get to hear everything, old John Anderson stuff, old John Conley stuff. And then you start playing and you get to work with these guys and they're just normal guys. They just hang out with you. And it was very cool for me.
Yeah, that is cool to be able to get the influences from both sides at an age like that. Do you remember your first performance ever?
I do. I wasn't proud of it.
How bad was it? Because everybody looks back and says it was bad.
It wasn't as horrible as I think it is now, because in the moment it was just fun because they knew that we were young. Maybe 18 at the max. And as a guy I grew up with, I went to high school with him and stuff, and he was playing drums and his buddy was playing bass. And we had a fiddle player with us, and for the life of me, I can't remember his name, and I'm sorry if you watch it, but honestly, it was just like, it was organic. It was just, this is what I have. And I gave everything I had at this first show. And yeah, it was like 30, 35 minutes long, but it was like everything you got,
And you said, I got to have some more after that, right?
It never stopped. It is just, it's a fun thing that I often think about how people, that fail in the music business or struggle in the music business and stuff. And it's, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result, but getting the same result. The difference in the music business is it's like you can do something over and over and over and you get the same result, but you have this drive to continue. And one day, certain days, might not be every day, might not be for a long period of time, but you get a different result. And it's like, this is the best thing ever,
Yeah.
And you try for more, and it's fun.
Who are some artists? It doesn't even have to be country artists. Who are some artists from that area? You've already mentioned one, but from the Acadiana area that you kind of looked up to coming up.
Man, growing up, it was, especially wanting to play country music or in this area, it was you Jeff Dugans, you Kip Sonniers, you guys like that have been playing this area for decades, and I've got to work with all of them. One of them lives about 2 blocks from me, hanging out with them. And then when I started branching out from country, because I mean, that's what I play, is I love it, but it's country comes from how many different areas of music, blues. So I became friends with some of the blues guys around here. One of my best friends is one of the best blues players around here. His name's Keith Blair. He's amazing. And I learned from him. I learned from some of the Cajun guys. I learned from the country guys. South Louisiana in general, we have this melting pot of great artists, and most people just don't want to search it, because it's Louisiana, and they're like, they're all, in P-Rose and they're killing alligators for a living. And it's like, some people are. I'm friends with a lot of them. I went alligator hunting like 2 weeks ago. It's a deal where these, they think like we're everybody on Swamp People. And it's like, yeah, I live by the airport. So it's like, I love this area because of the culture, the music, the fact that it's so different. And a lot of cats up in Nashville, I've done some sessions with some cats, and they're doing, I don't know how y'all play like that. And it's like, I don't either. It's just what we've done. I was brought up to play like that, to play this kind of groove that we have down here. We call it, swamp water. We have that down here. We have the grease down here.
Got something different cooking, don't you?
Yeah, in the water.
We had Kristen Foreman on the show a couple of weeks ago.
Love her.
I saw an article earlier where she credited you for getting her on stage and getting her starting playing shows. So how does that make you feel to hear that?
It's inspiring, actually, just because first time I ever met her, my buddy Keith Blair and I, we do a duo every once in a while, and we were playing at a dive bar somewhere downtown Lafayette years ago. I mean, it was before he was born, so it's got to be at least 12, 15 years ago. And she came in with her parents because she was maybe just 18. And her dad walked up, put some money in a tip jar, and he said, "You let my daughter sing." I'm good. Let's go. I'm not scared. Well, she gets up and she wouldn't talk. She would not say a word. And she's looking at me, and I'm looking at her. I said, "What do you want to sing?" And she just kind of whispers it to me because she's got a loud voice now, but back then she did not. And she does, "Little Past Little Rock." So I said, "What?" My voice is loud. And I'm like, "What?" She said, "Little Past Little Rock." Let's go. So we kicked the song off, she sings it, does great. Maybe 2 Sundays after that, we were doing it again at that same place. She shows up, and I'm like, "What do you want to sing?" Little Past Little Rock. We do it again, and I was like, "Do another one." So she calls another song, and I just so happen to know it, and I'm like, "She's doing good. She's getting a little bit more, confident about it." And to see her now, it's like she cusses me out. I'm like, "What are you listening to me for? What did I do to you?"
Yeah, that's awesome, man. She's got what's cool and kind of funny about that story is that both of you guys have this traditional sound, really. So it's funny that she said that you were the person that kind of brought her out of her shell and gave her that opportunity, and kind of transitioning it from that. Like we said earlier, you've got this traditional sound. I'm curious if that was, is that something that you had to work for, or is that just who you were the first time you started singing?
It was that from jump. It was, like I said, my dad would have beat me if I'd have listened to anything other than Merle Haggard, Keith Whitley, George Jones, Ray Price. And honestly, like I'm glad, I'm happy for that, because it was just a deal where I started learning what the songs meant. And it took me a little while, because like until I was probably 23 years old, I wasn't the biggest fan of Merle Haggard until I started listening and really paying attention. I'm like, oh my God, listen to these songs. It's brilliant. And I'm glad that my dad did that, because it made me who I am, because it's just good country music and it's real. It just speaks to the heart. And traditional country music is just, yeah, it's old school kind of music, but you know what? It'll catch you, hit you right in the throat, and that's it. You don't really have to think a whole bunch about what it's saying, because it's telling you what it's saying.
Yeah, no doubt about that. What is the line between kind of honoring that traditional, the Jones, the Whitley, the Haggard, but still sounding like Dustin Sonnier?
It's tough, because as an artist, you want to grow, you want to evolve, you want to change, you want to be something different. But my guitar player, Louisiana Music Hall of Famer himself, Mr. Tony Artman, says this to me: "Dance with who brung you." And he said, "You can venture out and do other things." He says, "But where's your heart? What do you do?" So I play country. He said, "That's what you got to do. Make traditional country music. Because if you don't, there's one person that may not do the same thing, that loves it but won't do it. So I just do." You're right. Can't beat it. He's right about it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, I love that, man. I'm glancing over at the comments, and we've got some people, they're ready for a song at the end and all that. And I love this one that just popped up. Randy says, "We gonna get drunk Saturday night in Eunice." I don't know what's going on Saturday night in Eunice, but I'm kind of might start fishing for an invite or something here.
Hey, look, you can come out there to Eunice, man, anytime. We're doing a show out there with the band in Eunice Saturday night, and that's a thing that where I'm from in Vatican, nobody says drunk, because everybody's been drunk. We say drunk with an O, D-R-O-N-K, drunk. Yeah, that's fantastic that he said.
I love it. Kendall Schaefer says, "What up, Bob?" What's up, Kendall? How are you, brother? Kendall's got a great new song out. It is, man. It's a great one. So I'm interested in whenever you're in the studio, do you are you hands-on in the studio to make sure that it has that certain sound that you like, or how does that work for you?
I try to be, because I write a lot of the songs, and I try to jump in and get hands-on. And me and my guitar player Tony are the ones that produce the albums, and occasionally I'll just kind of go off course and be like, "No, let's kind of get it edgy. Let's get edgy with it." He's like, "No, we're not doing that." And but I love that about him because he has no filter with me. We've been friends for a long time, and he has no filter, and he just does. No, we're not doing that. Let's make it country. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. I trust his opinion because I know he knows. He's been in the business for 40-something years, and he was with River Road. They were signed to Capitol and Virgin and stuff, and he's like, that's what they always told me: stick to what you do, dance with who brung you. And it's like, so I get hands on as much as I can, and I mean, when it comes to arranging the songs and stuff like that, yeah, we jump in, but if I go too far left field, he does. Come on, stop.
It's important to have that person in the studio with you that you can that not criticism, but that person that can give you some whatever the word is, some feedback. We'll just call it that. And you have to be like, yeah, that's cool. No hard feelings. There's nobody gets their feelings hurt and cries. Everybody's on the same page. Super important to have that. Have you recorded most of your stuff here in Louisiana?
Yeah, I've recorded everything here in Louisiana.
Dockside? Is that you've been at this?
No, that's what's crazy.
Oh, really?
The very first album that I did was 2008. My dad built a studio in what was our garage.
Wow.
He closed everything off, filled the walls with sand. He spent, I don't know how much money. And we recorded. And Tony Daigle came to the studio. And he's like, all right, let's do it. So we start recording my very first album. I'm 18, 19 years old. Have no clue. Never been in the studio before. Have no idea what I'm doing. And I jump in just because, I mean, what else are you going to do? We got to do this now. Let's jump in. And it was just a really cool experience playing with some of the players that I grew up listening to. You're talking Richie Como on steel guitar, Charles Vaughn on piano. My dad played some bass stuff. One of my dad's friends, Blaine, played bass on some stuff. Bo Thomas, I've been friends with Bo Thomas, great fiddle player from here. I've been friends with him since I'm probably his age. And we have a group of guys that are just killing it. And we cut a record. And like I said earlier, with Favorite Fool of All, we didn't have the money promoted or anything like that. We just did a record. And it was just so cool to experience. That's your first record. And it's like, this is great. And then we finished that one. Second record we put out, we did with Tony Daigle, but at Tony's house. And we recorded it. The entire band shows up. We do everything at his house. And that was the record that Whiskey was on. And I'm like, this is fun. I had a little feel for it. So I'm like, this is nice. And then the last record, we did everything kind of remotely. We did stuff at my house, my guitar player's house, my drummer's house. We were moving around doing that. And we've released, I think, 3 singles since that last album. And that's all just been done remotely. Except for the last one, The Heart to Hurt Her. We did everything remotely, but once we put it all together, I went to Tony Daigle's house and sat with him. And Tony Daig, he's a genius when it comes to getting stuff together. And we sat there and what do you like? What do you don't like? The dog needs to go outside, so my boy needs to.
That's what I love about it. It's informal here. We're informal on this one.
But yeah, Tony Daigle was like, tell me what you like, what you don't like. Sat there in his control room, and I said, I don't, maybe not this, maybe not this. And he's like, all right, cool. He said, I'll send you a rough of it. I said, cool. I left. I went to my buddy Keith Blair's house, and I got an email. And he's like, what do you like, what do you don't like? I was like, man, maybe the piano up here just a little bit. And he's like, all right, cool. Sends me another one. He's done. I was like, all right.
Yeah,
that's what's fun about it. I like being in a studio setting to you can write the song and all this, but when you're able to create music to the song in the studio setting, that's fun.
Yeah. You as far as I know, have you ever lived in Nashville? Have you ever tried to make that move, or have you had that desire, or?
Oh, I've had the desire, but I've never lived in Nashville. I've taken a lot of trips up there and done some stuff, but I got everything down here. He's got school, and we got a family here, and so it's tough. So I'll make trips, but as far as moving right now, not so much. I mean, a few years he'll be out the house, so maybe. Who knows?
Well, I think there's pros and cons to each, man. I'm sitting here looking at the number of viewers on a Tuesday night that could be doing anything in the world, and they're here with you and hanging on to everything you're saying and commenting and all of that. So I think you're a big part of that community, and I think that's got a lot of value too, man. Not only from a music standpoint, but from a human standpoint. So let's talk about Whiskey. Whiskey Makes Her Miss Me is the title. I would say it's probably, just from the outside looking in, I would say it's probably been your biggest hit, your biggest song up to this point. Over 2 million streams on Spotify alone. Tell us a little bit about how that song came to be.
The fun part about Whiskey is it's been the biggest one, but Missing You, Mississippi hit #1 on the Texas charts. And that was one of my favorite songs I've ever written. But Whiskey, honestly, my kid was an infant, and I put him down to go take a nap one afternoon, and I went outside, smoked a cigarette. Not the coolest thing, but I did. And I went smoked a cigarette, and 45 minutes later, I had whiskey. And that night, I went to take a shower, and I started tweaking the song in my head. I'm like, all right, I don't like this. We're gonna figure it out. And we played it live for like 6 months before I actually dove into it and said, okay, we got to fix this. And we hit the studio the first night, and that was the first one we did, because we thought that one wasn't going to be anything. Because I wrote it. It's not going to be anything. And there's the dog. The dog can let himself back into the house, by the way. So. But so it's a deal where it's like we didn't think it was going to be much. And I'm like, wow, okay. First night we cut it. I sang maybe 2-3 times, and we were good. They're like, you're good. So that's Crown time. We're gonna go outside and drink some Crown. But I'm like, I like the song, and we had that record had some good songs on it. Like Neither Do I is a song that I thought would have been a Keith Whitley song. And it could be because I didn't write that one, and the demo that I got from it, the singer sounded like Keith Whitley, and I'm a Keith Whitley guy. So I'm like, wow, that's a good one. And then Whiskey, we just cut it and didn't think much. And then once everything was done, we got into it, and we're like, oh, that's the first one that we need to put out on this record. And I'm like, I'm in. I wrote it, so I'm in.
Yeah.
But I put out a 30-second snippet of it on Facebook, and in maybe 24 hours, it was like 110,000 views. I'm like, okay, maybe this is what we needed to do. Hey, buddy. So I'm like, maybe we should do this. And I'm like, maybe I don't know, because I mean, I'm still at this point, I'm still kind of green to the business. I've been playing in bars since I'm 14, but this was 26 maybe. I'm like, I don't know that side of it that much, so I'm like, maybe we should. And my guitar player Tony did. Listen, if you have to know Tony's voice. Listen. I'm telling you what you need to do. And I just said, all right, I trust you. Let's go. And we put out Whiskey, and I think it went to number 14 on the Texas charts, and it kind of just took off on the internet, man. It was the deal where everybody was sharing it. I'm like, all right, awesome. And it was like the one that the single we had put out years ago, but it's like it was another level, and it pushed us. And I'm still so proud of it. It's still the most requested song that we get.
It's a great tune, man. I love it. I listened to it earlier today, just whenever I was kind of prepping for the show. Whenever I prep for the show, I like to listen to the artist, and I'm impressed every week though, because I start listening to these songs. I'm like, man, we got some great artists here. I mean, and there's no exception today. I mean, I was listening to your stuff, and I'm like, man, he's got such a killer sound. So we were talking before we came on, you keep a pretty full calendar of shows, and you have for quite a few years now. What is it about playing live that you love so much?
It's the connection with people. It's literally the just seeing how a song can change someone's mentality, how their frame of mind, their emotions. You can see it, and it's like that. The first time I ever like witnessed it was probably about 12, 15 years ago, and it was a guy who came request my song "Forever Fool of All," and I sang it for him, and afterwards I'm watching him and he's crying. And this is an older gentleman, and I'm doing, why is he crying? You know, didn't really catch on to what it meant, but I'm like, damn, this is he's crying and he likes this song apparently. And after after we finished the show, he came talk to me and he's like, you don't know what that meant to me. And I said, well, what do you mean? He says, I just went through a bad divorce, and that song helped me through it. And that's where it did. Okay. That's why I love playing live, because whether you know it or not, it can help somebody.
Yeah, that's great, man. That's a great story. How would you, and this might be an odd question, but how would you describe yourself as a songwriter?
Weird. He's giving a thumbs up. What are we doing? No, I write a lot of different stuff other than country. I write blues with my buddy Keith Blair. I write rap songs. I write funk songs. Because I love music. It's not about a genre. It's not. I love country. That's what I do, and I would love to, propel Louisiana country, because we have so many great country artists here in Louisiana. But I write everything because I just love music, and it's like I said, not about a genre. If it's good, it's good. You got rap guys. Lafayette, go to New Orleans, go to Baton Rouge. They got some rap cats that are just devastating the way they play on words. And I think I like like the play on words thing. I like that because it inspires me. Because if you go listen to what I actually listen to on Spotify, it's not country. There's some, but for the most part, I'm listening to rap, and I'm listening to rock, and I'm listening to classic rock, and I'm just trying to draw inspiration, because they could say two words, it clicks in my head, and I'm like, oh, that could be said like this, and you turn it around. I don't know. It's just I've been a lover of music since I'm a little bitty boy.
So what you're saying is your next album's going to be about big booties.
We have to. I mean, no, but I wrote a song, and my kids die laughing.
I was really trying to see if I could get him to laugh there.
It's not hard. You just gotta say fart or something like that. No, but honestly, I wrote a song.
Laughing on there. I at least got one good laugh. Two good laughs out of it.
I wrote a song probably 10 years ago that I brought to my team, and I was like, look, this is a good one. And they're like, no, you cannot put this song out ever. I'm like, well, why not? And they're like, well, because it talks about doing drive-bys. And I was like, no, it doesn't. And the song is called Doing Drive-Bys. But no, it's really like it's a song about a guy, because I grew up small town. If your woman you're seeing says, it's not you, it's me, we're going to see about that. I'm going to go and drive and see where you're at. That's just you're going to drive up and on the boulevard. You're going to figure, that's what it is. And I wrote this song, and couple of the program director friends that I have, I was like, does this seem like it would offend you? And they're like, no, not at all. I said, do you think that it would get somebody mad at me for days? Like, no. So I brought it up again to my team, and they're like, can't do it, dude. I'm like, if anybody's going to ruin my career, it'll be me. All right, let's do this. And they're like, no. But, so because some of the folks that know me, I'm a little bit of a petty person. I'm spiteful, and I'll do things if you say I can't. Watch. So I never put it out, but I went and recorded it to a. Think of it like when Tim McGraw and Nelly did that song years ago. I recorded it like that, and I'm trying to find a rapper to put a rap verse on it, and I want to do that just to see. Because I'll put it out. It doesn't change what I do, but it's something different that some people may get into. So I'm like,
Lil Wayne might do it.
I don't know if Lil Wayne will do it, buddy, but I think his spirit's sitting a little too high for me to get him to do it. But yeah, it's you can write anything. I mean, as a writer, you write songs. It's a deal where anything. It doesn't matter to me. I want to write, and I go to these songwriters retreats up in North Texas sometimes, and it's I'll jump room to room. They're writing traditional, or they're writing new country, or they're writing kind of bluesy country. It doesn't matter to me. I want to do it. I want to be a part of it because I want to write. I might have an idea that helps this thing move along.
That's funny that you said that, man, because whenever we were doing Vidalia, Matt, my producer, had this song called Tell Jesus that he kept pitching to me. And all he had was a hook, and it was boy, you've done gone too far. Boy, you need Jesus, you done gone too far. And then you say, well, tell Jesus if he needs me, I'll be down at the bar. And I kept telling him, I was like, dude, we can't do that. And he was like, well, just write it with me. We don't have to put it out. And he knew that once we started writing it. So we ended up putting it out. But I sent it to like all my real church folks friends. I was like,
100%.
Am I going to get like, no, everybody in town going to hate me for this? And they're like, no, it's cool. But I was like, man, I'm going to get like my house rolled or something. I was like, I don't mean anything by it. It's just a joke.
And honestly, I've got 2 sitting in the can right now that I recorded that my guitar player's like, dude, you can't put it out. I wrote one like maybe 3 days after my dad passed, because my dad loved honky-tonk music, and I do too. And I wrote a song called Honky Tonks in Heaven. And maybe 20 minutes, I was from wherever Walmart is from my house to my house. I wrote it, right? And the hook of it is, if there ain't honky tonks in heaven, I'd rather go to hell. And they all said, oh, God, you can't say that. I said, whoa. Bocephus said, if heaven ain't a lot like Dixie, I don't want to go. And I'm like, what's the difference? And he's like, I don't know. You're trying to say that there's bars in heaven. I was like, have you been? Maybe there are. I hope that's what I went clean my father's grave today, and I said, I hope we drink a beer with you up there, Pop. Because that's a real thing. You don't know, you ain't been there.
Yeah.
So, and I wrote another one, and I was bringing my kid. He's had a baseball tournament, and I didn't talk the entire time from when we left our house to go to his tournament, which is about an hour away. And while I wasn't talking, I was thinking. And I was thinking of song, like lyrics, and I wrote a song. You do remember? I wrote a song, and I didn't know what to call it, and I called it The Last Prayer. And it's basically like a suicide note to God, saying, God, I can't. And it's not, look, hey, not suicidal.
Yeah.
But I know people that are, and I thought that might help them. And I'm like, it's an idea of God. I got enough. Either you help now, I'm done. And I wrote it, and team's like, dude, that's the saddest thing. You can't put that out. I'm like, I want to.
You're the leader of the band. You could choose what you want.
I know, buddy, but they're looking for me too.
Is that he's going to be your manager?
Hey, he'd be good at it. He's stone cold with me. If he can be stone cold with everybody else, then we'd be good.
That's right, man. I got a couple more, man. I try to keep these things right at an hour just to respect everybody's time on a Tuesday night, and including our guests. But this is awesome, man. But before we do get to that, those last couple, man, we've had over 30 people on here the whole time, and just comments going, man. That says a lot about your following and the people down there that support you. Let me see real quick.
My mom,
and they're asking for a song too. So go ahead. I'm sorry, brother.
I said my mom didn't get on. That makes me mad. But
well, it's better if it's other people outside of family. So that if it was only mom, I'd be worried.
Right.
They're asking for a song, so I want to leave a little time to do that too, if you don't mind. But let's see if you could do a collaboration with any artist, living or gone, who would it be and why?
Oh, there's two. There's two. Of course, Keith Whitley.
Lisa Sonnier, she says, "I'm watching." Is that mine?
There she is.
Is that mine?
But no, if I had, I mean, Keith Whitley, that's my guy. Because the story was that right before Keith died, he was supposed to be doing a collab with Hank Jr. for his next record, and that never happened. And I would love to see him and Hank Jr. together. But also, I would love to see me and Keith Whitley doing a collab together, because it's Hank Jr. is one of my guys too, and I love the energy and the fire that he has, and I would love that. And the second one would be, this is, people that are diehard country might judge me by it, but Dr. Dre. Because Dr. Dre, it to me is one of the most brilliant producers for hip hop music. It's unbelievable. And if I could throw a third one in just to try to make it happen, because I've been friends with him since I'm 3 years old, me and Wayne Toops need to do a song together. We've been talking about it for probably 10 years. We need to do one, me and him. Wayne, if you're watching, me and you, dude.
Hey, sounds like a challenge to me.
I ain't care.
Sounds like a challenge. No fear, baby, no fear. I'll ask you one more. Our buddy Kevin Burke down here in the comments is asking this question, so it's only fitting that I ask it, because he's asking for us, I guess, and I love that. And then we'll get to a song if you don't mind. But what does I'll take this question and I'll add to it too. But he's saying, what does Louisiana country music mean to you? I'll take that, and I'll also add, first of all, thank you for coming on tonight. It's been awesome, man. I love having these guests on every Tuesday, because I'll get 5 texts tonight going, man, I didn't know Dustin. That was amazing. Now I'm going to start following him and this and that. So thank you for saying that. But what does Louisiana country mean to you? And what do you hope to see that we can all do together? Because you're a part of this. It's not just us. It's all of us together.
Louisiana country music, what it means to me is we're all from here, and we shouldn't work against each other. We should work together, because I see a lot of that, especially because now it's sad to say I'm the older guy now around here, and I see a lot of the younger ones working against each other. It's like, we don't need to work against each other. Work together. I've been writing songs with some of the younger guys to help, because they were stuck, and I'm like, if I can help, I'm gonna help. And that's the biggest thing, is to teach the younger cats that are coming up. It's not a competition. There's no competition between us. Let's all work together. And guess what? We can make this a big thing and get it on a bigger scale where everybody does. You see, because Texas country music, it's a huge thing. We have that many artists down here in Louisiana that are that good. Why can't we all band together and make it a thing? We have to. We really do, because that's the only way it's going to continue.
Yeah, and That's our goal, and that's why we've been blessed, man, because we haven't had any artists to be like, man, I'm busy, and this. Everybody's like, man, I'd love to come on and be a part of this, and this is really just a community. We're just kind of like, I'm the only idiot that'll do this every Tuesday night, because who cares, why not? But I love it though, but this is for all of us, man. So thank you for coming out. You got a guitar near?
Yeah, you grab my guitar from me, buddy. And I want to say thank you for having me. Thank you for doing this, because you know what, that not a lot of folks would take the time to do this kind of stuff, and this is it's super cool to me that you do this kind of stuff. It really is, because I was watching some of the folks. I was at one of his football games, and I had it on my phone, and I'm watching it. They had a rain delay, so I'm just watching on my phone, and I liked it. And the next day, you text me and said, "Hey, you want to be on it?" I'm like, "Yeah, why not?" I mean, but see, that's the thing. We have to not work against each other. We can't, as artists from here in Louisiana, we're Louisiana artists. Let's do this together and make something happen, because we can, because we have the talent down here.
We're gonna do it, man. We're gonna do it. I mean, I'm looking at these. I'm looking at the people who, like Lance and Christy right here. She says, thank you, they saying, thank you, Dustin, for your time. They're on here almost every Tuesday night. They're rock stars, and I love seeing them on here every Tuesday night. They love seeing the new people. We're building this thing, man. It might take a little time, but we're going to do it. I'm very positive that it's going to happen.
Anything you need from me, let me know. I'm in, bro. I enjoyed the time we spent this evening. I enjoyed it, and I know it's going to grow. I know it will.
Yeah, no doubt, man. What are you going to play for us tonight?
Well, I mean, typically I take requests, but my kid wants me to play Fuel by Metallica. You're going to be doing that one, pal. What are you good? But I guess I'll do the one that kind of that started the whole thing. It makes you miss me.
Okay.
I checked earlier on my iPad what's the best song by Dustin Sonnier released. It said, I said I love you, but I lied, or Whiskey Makes You Miss Me.
I said I love you, but I lied's a good one too, because I wrote that one. What? All right, here's something called Whiskey Makes Her Miss Me.
Okay.
He said, look at that body, look at that charm. What she doing in here on the night on nobody's arm? I think I've got a shot. I heard a drink, something sweet or something strong, man. What do you think? I had no idea when I pointed at the table. It was already over. He walked up to the table, when she makes it this way. And get every sip, every shot, every grace, every reminder of it's a memory she can't leave behind. Just on a she'll be leaving here alone tonight. This is the next messy. Oh, yeah. See, she's drowning in her pain. What I did her did to the reason she came. Well, like that. Catching a man's up. She's sitting there all alone, so why not give him a try? Buy her a drink, she'll entertain. Heard it before, she hates the game when she makes it dance. She can't get her every sip, every shot, every drink's a reminder of every memory she can't leave behind her. So hard up in love, you know I can't leave here alone tonight. The sweetest things oh yeah, whiskey makes you dissipate. He left.
Man, that that was great, dude. The internet was chopping up a little bit, but you guys could tell. I want you guys to go listen to the song. If your internet was chopping up a little bit, then go listen to the song on YouTube or Spotify or whatever. That's such a great song, man. Kevin says, yeah. Alex says, hell yeah. Thank you. So I don't know if you can see the comments or not, but there's a lot of comments coming in. We we well, yeah, man. So man, we appreciate you coming in. Very grateful for you. I'll try to get down to Lafayette and hang soon, man. I'll try to catch a show. I would come down to Eunice on Saturday, but I see all these comments. I don't know if I can hang, man.
Oh, trust me, it'll be fine.
Yeah, y'all might be crawling out to my vehicle. I don't know.
We got people who can drive you. We're good.
That's right. Oh man, well, dude, I had a great time tonight, man. I could tell everybody else did. Hey, thank you to all you guys for tuning in tonight too. Whenever people tune in and they ask questions and they participate, whether you're on stage playing or whether you're doing these things, it makes it so much fun, and it just makes the whole thing worth it. So, well, man, I appreciate you, and just let's hook up soon, man. And anything that we could do for you, please let us know. And I know that you feel the same, and let's keep doing this and making it happen.
Anytime you need, brother, I'm here. I appreciate you having me this evening.
All right, brother. Well, thank you, man, and we'll see you soon.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. All right, guys, man. I love Dustin and that voice. He's such a great singer, such a traditional singer. Go check his stuff out if you haven't already. I know most of you guys have, but if you haven't, go check him out. Look at my man, Michael Brown, on there. Great song. I ain't seen that guy in years. How you doing, brother? Eric Broussard says that's one of the best. That is, man. So what's up, Dustin? Can't wait to see you at K-Bomb Festival, Chase Melanson. So anyway, guys, we hope you enjoyed the show tonight. If so, make sure to tune in every Tuesday night. Just set your alarm. Just set your alarm for every Tuesday night at 7. Let's do this every week. Again, make sure to follow, like, share, comment, and help us show the world what Louisiana country music is all about. Visit our website and make sure to sign up for our weekly newsletter when you're there. We'll send out a newsletter every Friday morning with all the news and new releases. Thank you all for tuning in. God bless our Louisiana folks out there, the best fans in country music. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we will see you next Tuesday night right here on Louisiana Country Music Live.